from Game 3, Kyle Lowry was involved in an incident on the sideline with a fan who we now know is Warriors investor Mark Stevens. Stevens shoved Lowry when he ended up in the crowd diving for a ball. The NBA has banned Stevens for 1 season, fined him $500,000. Nick, what did you make of this?
I think Adam Silver in the league did the absolute right thing. I was glad, by the way, that Kyle Lowry responded as professionally as he did, or else this could have altered the finals.
Yeah.
This could have been a really ugly. The
NBA was very fortunate that they had the type of man going into the stand, saving that ball, and was involved in this encounter.
Because that guy was going to push whoever he could, as long as it wasn't a Warrior. Whomever came into that crowd.
I don't necessarily know that. I don't give him that. I typically,
you know, okay, fair enough. The point I'm making is I don't know that every Raptor would have responded with the same restraint.
If that's Marc Gasol, does he push Marc Gasol?
I don't know. I think he pushes Serge. I think he pushes Serge Ibaka, and I don't know if Serge responds the way Lowry responds.
Yes.
That's the point I'm making. But Dylan Byers reported the Warriors' other owners might force him to sell his shares. But this is a real penalty for him, even if they don't. To be banished for the first year at the Chase Center. This guy's got courtside seats and a suite. At the very least, he's not going to be able to experience that the first year at the Chase Center next season. It is a just penalty. If not, they could have gone further.
No, they should go further. He shouldn't be associated with the NBA. There is no way they should allow a minority owner, majority owner to be able to make contact that they initiated that contact with the NBA players, let alone a regular season game. We should be able to send the message, if you go to an NBA game, do not think you can touch the players. Where else do you think you can touch someone?
And by the way, even if he'd never touched him, a partial owner of the team telling him to go bleep himself.
Yes.
What are you doing? You're a damn near 60-year-old man. It's just ridiculous.
MANNIX, the starting unit for Toronto, dominated Game 3, combining for 106 points with all 5 starters, scoring at least 17. They'll have a shot to take a 3-1 lead in the finals tonight as they face a continually hobbled Warriors team, even with Klay Thompson back. MANNIX, will the Raptors' offensive success carry over from Games 3 to 4?
I think so, because I think they've been, since Game 2 of that conference finals against Milwaukee, I think they've been a more complete offensive team. Since that Game 2, you have seen the likes of Fred VanVleet. You have seen Pascal Siakam, who did play pretty well in the first game of that Milwaukee series. But you have seen Serge Ibaka. You have seen different guys step up and not necessarily give you 15, 20 points, but give you 9 or 11 or 13 points in that way. I think their depth offensively has been very good since early in that Milwaukee series, and I think it's capable of carrying over. I don't see, when I watch this Raptors team in the finals, I don't see kind of that look of fear in their eyes, this deer in the headlights kind of look from the guys that haven't been there. Like, I don't expect to see it from Ibaka or Kawhi or Danny Green, but I don't see it from VanVleet. I don't see it from Marc Gasol, who, despite the fact he's been to a conference finals, has never been to this stage before either. So I think the Raptors' offensive talent is absolutely going to carry over.
And the Warriors don't match up well. It's the first time in this run we've ever talked about it. With Looney being out, you know something? We can't hide Boogie Cousins. We can't hide Andrew Bogut. We didn't expect either one of them. If they were being honest with Steve Kerr at that press conference, ain't a whole bunch of honesty coming up out of his mouth. He wouldn't have told you, man, I'm getting ready to depend on Boogie Cousins after playing him 10 minutes in the first game. Oh, we're getting ready to ramp him up to 28, 30. Oh, no. And I got to play Bogut, what, 20-something? So that helps Gasol. Gasol has a favorable matchup. Now with Draymond's been on a game, off a game, and then I expect him to ramp it up tonight and play well. Iggy at this point, how well and consistent can he play? And I can guarantee you, they're going to leave him wide open to be able to shoot. So this is not a great matchup. And with Klay being dinged a little bit, I believe that Kawhi, who joined a very illustrious class as far as 6 other players with his 30-point game, I believe he goes for 30 tonight. So when you get 30, you only need so much. And I just believe that Kyle Lowry, his ability to shoot the ball from deep, it gives them that extra. But I think you make a great point. Their players who haven't been there have been very comfortable in the spotlight, led by VanVleet.
And see those other 6 players who have scored at least 30 in 13 playoff games in a run: Hakeem, Shaq, Iverson, Kobe, LeBron, Michael. It is an illustrious class, and it means you not only went on a deep playoff run, but you were the driving force behind that playoff run. we were talking earlier about the confidence the Warriors are exuding, whether it's false bravado. I don't think it's false bravado. I think it's real bravado. But they are now dealing with an opponent for the first time, I believe, since 2016, where their opponent believes, okay, you can be as confident as you want, but we're actually better. I think the Cavs believed they were better in 2015 and got hurt. And I think to this day, you talk to those guys, man, if we didn't get hurt, we had them. And then in 2016, they did it. In 2017, I know that those Cavs teams thought they was the best version of them, but it was the first year with Kevin Durant. That Warriors team had just blown through everyone en route to the NBA Finals. I don't think they actually thought they were better, and obviously the Cavs last year didn't think they were better. The Raptors can look at this series and say, we have been the better team. If not, for the Raptors can say, even if I don't believe it, they can say, if not for a 5-minute lapse, we're up 3-0. 5 minutes of third quarter of game 2, that 18-0 run is Toronto saying that's why we're not up 3-0. Now, can they duplicate their offensive success? The 50, 40, 90, the part of that that's going to be the hardest to duplicate as a team is the 40. Shooting 40% from 3 in an NBA Finals game on that many attempts is incredibly difficult. If they do that again, they will win. If they do that again, they will be up 3-1 and they will be en route to proving you right that they will be NBA champions.
But sometimes when people look at stats, they forget the context of the game. They had to do that to overcome Steph.
No, I'm talking about the Raptors. The Raptors are the ones that shot. Oh, I see what you're saying. The Raptors had to do it to overcome Steph.
They had to. Do you expect Steph to go
for 47?
No. Right. So a lot of times when you don't look at the game, then like they had to do that. So what do you think's more capable of repeating? What happened to Warriors shooting? I mean, the Raptors, how they shot the ball, or Steph going for that? More likely to happen to me, the Raptors performing the way they did in Game 3.
So what is the Raptors' game plan tonight? What's their approach? Is it similar? I mean, I know you have Clay back. We also all here don't think Clay's going to be 100%. But what's the game plan? Is it stopping Steph Curry?
I think you're still loading up on Steph Curry. I think offensively, as long as Clay's out there on the floor, you have to keep a body on him, because even if he's not a threat to go to the basket, his jump shot's not going to go away because of a sore hamstring. But you have to try to make Steph more inefficient. Even if he goes for 47, that's fine. I thought was most impressive about Steph was 14 for 31. That's a great percentage for a perimeter player who is getting loaded up on every single time. So I think the game plan's just got to be continue to throw bodies at him. But look, it sounds kind of crazy, but with a dinged up Klay Thompson and without Kevin Durant, I think Toronto's the better offensive team than Golden State right now. I mean, I just think they're more complete. One thing about the Raptors that goes completely underappreciated coming into this postseason was that they added a superstar in Kawhi Leonard, but the chemistry with that team was there. They were a group of guys that were together for 2 or 3 years that had only lost to LeBron James in the postseason. They are extremely comfortable playing together, and I think that's contributed to that sort of calmness you see out there on the floor from those guys.
You make a great point. That is underappreciated. What they did during the regular season's underappreciated. What they did when Kawhi Leonard wasn't in the lineup is underappreciated. The 2 wins they had against Golden State during the regular season, underappreciated. So now they've played Golden State 5 times this year, all right? And they've beaten them 4 times in the last 8 or 9 months. And let's not forget, let's look at the last 7 games. They've won 6 of them. They could have won 7 in a row against the Milwaukee Bucks, 60-win, and the world champion, 2-time defending world champion. If they didn't have those bad 5 minutes, they would have won 7 games in a row. At some point, you got to give some respect to what they're doing.
And you guys are looking at the short lens. The longer lens is this. In the last 3 years in the NBA, number 1 in wins is the Golden State Warriors, obviously. Number 2 in wins, the Toronto Raptors. And this is the best version of the Raptors, which is why we're in store for, I think, the best NBA Finals we've had since 2016.
All right, Mannix, stick around. Take a break coming up. Should the Warriors still feel confident in this series without KD? Next on First Things First.
You know what they'd like to have? Robert Williams.
Oh, that guy.
Does he even know what time practice is?